Let's skip the fluff and get right into it. If you're thinking about moving to South Carolina, whether you're coming from up north, the West Coast, or somewhere in between, this is the place where life slows down a little and people wave even when they don't know you. You can still find that nice balance between affordability and quality of life. So let's break it down so you can figure out what life really looks like here and figure out if it might be your next home. First up, the Upstate. Let's start in the Upstate because that's where you'll find my home, Greenville, and one of the fastest growing areas of the Southeast. This part of the state sits right near the Blue Ridge Mountains and has the perfect mix of small town charm and big city convenience. Downtown Greenville, if you haven't been, is built around Main Street and Falls Park on the Reedy. You've got waterfalls right in the middle of downtown, walking trails, boutique shops, and some of the best restaurants in the entire state. Beyond Greenville, places like Greer, Simpsonville, and Travelers Rest have all grown like crazy because families love the schools, retirees love the slower pace, and everyone loves the cost of living. You can still find beautiful single-family homes at prices that would surprise you if you're moving from somewhere like New York, Boston, or California. And a quick story, one of my clients, a couple from upstate New York, visited Greenville last year just to check it out. They spent one afternoon walking around Falls Park, grabbed dinner outside at Sobeys, and by the next morning they were texting me saying, "We're sold." 6 months later, they're homeowners here, and now they tell me they wish they made the move 10 years earlier. So if that sounds a little like what you're hoping for, maybe it's time to start a conversation. Next, let's talk about the Midlands, the state's center and capital life. South of Greenville and northwest of the beach, you'll find what we call the Midlands, mostly centered around Columbia, the state's capital. Columbia offers a different vibe, flatter landscape, the focus of state government, and a lot of energy from the University of South Carolina, where I went to school. It's hotter, no question, but it's also alive with that college town spirit. Go Gamecocks! Between sporting events, concerts, university programs, there's always something to do. Lake Murray, just west of the city, is a huge draw for families who want to boat, fish, or live on the water. And because Columbia sits right in the middle of the state, it's easy to drive to the beach or the mountains on a weekend. From a real estate perspective, Columbia and its suburbs like Lexington and Irmo offer excellent value, especially for buyers looking for modern houses on larger lots without breaking the bank. A lot of people working remotely now are taking advantage of that. They get lots of space, a lower cost of living, and will stay within reach of bigger cities. Let's move down to the Lowcountry. We're headed to the coast where life slows down just a bit more. The Lowcountry includes Charleston, Hilton Head, Beaufort, and all those barrier islands that make South Carolina famous. Charleston is the crown jewel here, and it consistently ranks as one of the top cities in the country, not just for tourists, but for people moving from out of state. The streets are lined with historic homes, the food scene is world class, and you're never far from the water. Charleston's economy has grown a lot too. Tech startups, aerospace companies, and medical institutions are all here, along with plenty of old Southern history. The challenge for new homeowners, though, is cost. Charleston real estate is beautiful, but the price is not. Still, many buyers say the lifestyle makes it worth every penny. Morning walks under live oaks, dinner on Shem Creek as the sun sets, or those mild winters where you can be outside nearly every day. It's hard to beat. Then you've got Hilton Head, known for golf, beaches, and a strong retiree community, and Beaufort, not Beaufort, which gives you that small coastal town feeling with incredible views and slower living. People who relocate here often say they finally feel rested, like they're living in a place they've always dreamed about. On the northern end of the coast, not really in the low country, so to speak, is Myrtle Beach, which has grown a lot in the last 20 years, both in size and quality. Famous for more than 100 golf courses, it offers tons of things to do for kids of all ages, from jet skis to shows and calabash seafood. If you ask people in the upstate or the Midlands, they all have a favorite place on the coast to go for summer vacation, but it varies, so asking around will get you a lot of answers. Two of my favorites are Sullivan's Island and North Myrtle. Let's talk money for a second, because this is one of the biggest drivers for people moving to South Carolina. Compared to the national average, the cost of living here is lower. Housing, especially outside of Charleston, remains relatively affordable compared to many other states. Groceries, utilities, and transportation generally cost less too. South Carolina has some appealing tax advantages. There's no estate tax, and property taxes are among the lowest in the country. Retirees get even better news. Military pensions and Social Security benefits aren't taxed, and there are substantial deductions for other forms of retirement income. Even if you're still working, the overall tax burden is friendly. And if you're considering buying a home here, the lower property tax rate can make a big difference in your monthly budget. Let's look at the weather and climate, and here's a fair warning: the weather depends on where you are. South Carolina summers get hot and humid, especially in the Midlands and the Lowcountry. But the trade-off is that winters are mild. Greenville might see a dusting of snow once or twice a year, and down in Charleston, you can be walking on the beach in January wearing just a light jacket. If you're moving to South Carolina, there's no reason to bring a snowblower. Spring and fall are sweet spots, long and warm and full of bloom. Azaleas, dogwoods, and crepe myrtles paint the neighborhoods, and if you're into outdoor living, this is really where the state shines. Lakes Hartwell and Kiowee are just a short drive from the city and are popular for boating and fishing. In the Midlands, Lake Murray is one of the biggest playgrounds in the state. Families spend weekends tubing, kayaking, or relaxing at lakefront restaurants. And along the coast, it's all about salt life: fishing, paddleboarding, sailing, jet skiing, or just sunrise beach walks. Golfers are spoiled with championship courses everywhere. Greenville, Columbia, Charleston, Hilton Head, Myrtle Beach all have courses that rank nationally. And if you're a foodie, South Carolina's restaurant scene is something special. From shrimp and grits to barbecue to fine dining, there's no shortage of flavors to explore. State and national parks abound, and they are a great way to get into nature and often are very close to cities. Paris Mountain State Park is 15 minutes from downtown Greenville, Congaree National Park is less than 30 minutes from Columbia, and the lowlands are littered with coastal parks and preserves that are a great place to find wildlife. Some can even be a great place to pick up shells. Whether you're in a small town or downtown Greenville, people will talk to you in line at the grocery store. Neighborhoods are social, block parties, farmer markets, and local festivals happen constantly. I love that people wave when I'm on neighborhood streets, and when I'm showing homes, neighbors are usually willing to share their love of the area and what makes them stay where they are. In Greenville, weekly events like Downtown Alive and the Saturday Market keep people connected. In Columbia, families gather for university sports and art walks. Down in Charleston, there's history around every corner, mixed with Southern hospitality. Speaking of history, South Carolina has plenty. From Revolutionary to Civil War landmarks to preserved plantations and Gullah Geechee heritage sites along the coast, the state values its cultural roots. For families, schools are a big factor, and South Carolina has a range of public, charter, and private school options. Greenville County is one of the top-rated districts in the state, and there's been major investments in magnet and STEM programs. Colleges like Clemson, USC, Furman, and College of Charleston anchor strong educational communities. Healthcare continues to expand as well. Greenville's Prisma Health System is one of the largest in the Southeast. Charleston's MUSC is nationally recognized. Access to care has grown tremendously as more and more people relocate here. Let's talk about transportation and accessibility. You can get almost anywhere you want fairly easily from South Carolina. The interstate system connects major cities north and south via I-85 and I-95, south and west via I-26. Greenville, Spartanburg, Columbia, and Charleston all have airports with growing direct flight options. And because everything is relatively close, the weekend trip is simple. You can drive from Greenville to the Blue Ridge Parkway in less than 2 hours, or be at the beach in about 3.5. From Columbia, you're almost exactly in the middle, 2 hours to anywhere, and what makes it a great landing spot for retirees who really want to travel around. South Carolina is a car state, so moving here isn't really viable if you only want to use public transportation. That said, if you try hard, you could probably pull it off in Greenville, Columbia, or Charleston. When you add it all up, here's what it comes down to. People move to South Carolina for balance. The lifestyle feels slower, but opportunity is growing fast. So give it some thought. Maybe give me a call, and who knows, 10 minutes from now, you might be planning a visit. Until next time, I'm David Crum, and I look forward to seeing you around the Palmetto State.